Good morning, children. So we are back with cell division again. We had finished with mitosis and we had seen the differences in both plants and animal cells. Now I had already started with meiosis, but before teaching you meiosis, I was explaining the homologous pair of chromosomes. For that, like I will explain diploid and haploid cells. In that context only we will be, and this diploid haploid term we will be needing in genetics as well. Okay. So what is, we start from the origin of the formation of an organism, How does an organism, the formation takes place? An ovum, or we can call it egg cell, fuses with a sperm cell. Yesterday only, in the previous class only, I had explained it with a sperm cell. Is it all right? So what happens, as you know that we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. I have already told you that why do we call it 20 instead of saying 46, why do we call it for 26 pairs? Because each chromosome has a pair. That is why we preferably say 23 pairs. Is it? So what happens, here you find that these are the gametes. You take ovum or you take sperm. Gametes are the only cell. In case of animals it's ovum, sperm. In case of plants it is pollen grain, and you have done a male nucleus in pollen grain and the egg nucleus. Is it clear? They are always, they have, instead of 23 pairs of chromosome, they have only 23 chromosomes. 23 this side and 23 this side. Is it all right? And when fertilization occurs, then what happens? Sperm, and what is fertilization? The fusion of sperm and ovum. Is it all right? So after fertilization, what is formed? The two cells fuse to form a zygote. Is it? And this 23 and this 23 makes 23 pairs. So this is the first cell formed with 23 pairs of chromosomes. Is it clear? Now I'll come back to haploid and diploid terms later on. Again, let me tell you. Now this will divide, this first cell will divide mitotically. It will divide mitotically. Mitosis. What is mitosis? The number of chromosomes remain same. Is it all right? Forming 23 pairs and 23 pairs means one cell is dividing to form two cells, 23 pairs. Again, each of the cell will divide by mitosis, and the division of cells means the number of cells in the body increases by mitosis. No more meiosis. No more meiosis. Now mitosis. And so what is the advantage of mitosis and what is the significance of mitosis? The number of chromosomes in mother and the daughter cell, or we can also say the parent and the daughter cell remain same. That is how, and from one cell millions of cells are formed. Our body is composed of millions of cells, and that is formed from, it started from the division of zygote, which had 23 pairs of chromosomes. Now I'll go back, I'll just give you a simple example. Yesterday, as I was explaining with you, explaining you with the pair of shoes. Is it something not to be compared with, but it is easy to understand. So suppose in your shoe rack, you have 23 pairs of shoes. You have 23 pairs of shoes. Is it clear? So what do you do? Like each shoe has a pair. Is it all right? Okay. Now what you do? You take two shoe racks, two small shoe racks. Is it? Okay. Two small, suppose, what did I say? Suppose you have 23 pairs of shoes. 23 pairs of shoes. Is it clear? So you have kept, now if you count them, the number of shoes you count, it will come to 46. Okay. Now, how can I compare a gamete with a shoe rack? Is it clear? Now take two small shoe racks or two shoe racks. Is it, how many pairs you have? 23 pairs. Now, one from each pair should come in the shoe, means one from the first pair in this shoe rack, the other in this shoe rack. Is it clear? The second from the second pair, one here, the second here. Is it clear? Third. So at the end, what we will find? We will find all 23 pairs of shoes are present here, and all 23 types of shoes are present here. I'm sorry. at the end, after you arrange 23 pairs, is it clear? You are dividing the pairs in 2 shoe racks. One from each pair goes to each shoe rack. Is it clear? Like that it is going. So what at the end you find, this rack has 23 types of shoes and this rack also has 23 types of shoes, but none of them have their pair. You will not find a pair of this shoe in this shoe rack. Is it all right? Now what happens? You bring the 2 shoe racks together. So when you are bringing the 2 shoe racks together, is it clear? Each of the shoe finds its pair. Is it clear? It is something like that we have in our gametes. So what do we say? It has only one set of shoes, and this has one set of shoes, another set of shoes. When they are coming together, that means when you are bringing the 2 shoe racks together, is it clear? Each has its pair. That means this is one set of shoe, this is the other set of shoes. Is it all right? So this is how set means each chromosome will be there, but none will have its pair. One set means. Is it all right? So sperm and ovum is same way. Sperm and ovum are like that. All 23 types of chromosomes are present in ovum, and all 23 types of chromosomes are present in sperm, but none have their pair. Here only 23. A particular chromosome if you take, you will not find its pair. So what kind of cell? So this cell has only one set of chromosomes, one set of chromosomes. Is it all right? Both cells have only one set of chromosomes. And what do we call this kind of cell as? We call this kind of cell as haploid cell. We call this as haploid cells. Okay, and how do we denote it? How do we show haploid cell? We show N. N is the set of chromosome, one set. Is it all right? But at the same time, when you are coming here, what is happening? 23 from ovum gets it pair from 23. So this is one set, this is the other set. That becomes pair. So what do we say? We call it 2 sets of this cell is having 2 sets of chromosomes. The first 23 is one set, the next 23 is another set. Is it clear? So 2 sets of chromosomes, and we call this as, these kind of cells are known as the diploid cells. All the cells in our body, diploid cells. All the cells are diploid. All body cells are diploid except for gametes. All cells are diploid. Is it all right? No matter which part of the body you are taking, from kidney, you are taking from brain, you are taking from muscle, any part of the body you are taking, the cells are diploid. Is it all right? Only except for the gametes. Gametes are haploid. All right. So how do we show? It has 2 sets of chromosome. How do we show set of chromosome N? It has 2 sets of chromosome. So diploid cells are shown as 2N. Okay. So here goes. Now we come to the process of meiosis. Is it all right? Now what are we finding? Yesterday I had explained you, again we will go back little bit to the homologous pair of chromosomes. What have we seen in homologous pair of chromosomes? So we take a diploid cell. Is it? I'll show you with 4 chromosomes. All right, not with 6. I'm showing with you. And here meiosis, what we show, we don't have to do in detail. We have to understand that what is happening in meiosis. Is it all right? Unlike mitosis, meiosis is completed in 2 steps. Okay, so meiosis starts in diploid. The end means the result of meiosis leads to the formation of haploid cells, but it starts with a diploid cell. What is the meaning of diploid cell? A cell with 2 sets of chromosome. What do you understand by 2 sets of chromosome? That means the sets of chromosome, each chromosome will have its pair. Is it clear? You can make out, I have drawn 2 pairs of chromosomes. 2 pairs of chromosomes I have drawn. is it? You can make out these two are metacentric and these two are submetacentric, or submetacentric. These two are submetacentric. Okay, submetacentric means one arm is slightly bigger than the other. All right, or let me make it more clear, let me make it acrocentric. Now that will be more clear. Acrocentric, what is acrocentric? One of the arm of the chromatid is much smaller than the other. What is the reason? Centromere is towards the terminal position. So let us consider this as a cell, okay, with 4 chromosomes, and each, how do we know it is a diploid cell? Because each chromosome has its pair. This chromosome has its pair, that means, and this chromosome has its pair. In diploid cell, chromosomes are always present in pair. Okay. What is homologous chromosome? Just again a revision. They should have centromere at the same location. They should have centromere at the same location, and they should be having genes at the, what term do we use for the physical position of a gene? The position of a gene on a chromosome, we call it locus, and they should be having same gene present on the locus. Now why I am coming to this? If you remember, I said that one set of chromosomes we are getting from ovum. One set of chromosome we are getting from ovum, and the other set of chromosome we are getting from sperm. Is it clear? And here fusion occurs forming to zygote. Now these chromosomes come down, this becomes, now this is one set, this is one set, now here becomes 2 sets. So this is the zygote, is it? It will further divide to form, cells. What